your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. New comments from President Trump about Iran as the tension builds in the Strait of Hormuz.
Amid stalled peace talks and renewed questions about how long a ceasefire will last, the president posted, quote, Iran is having a very hard time figuring out who their leader is. They just don't know, unquote. The president also claimed the U.S. has total control of the Strait of Hormuz, saying it is sealed up tight until such time as Iran is ready to make a deal. Earlier today, Trump posted, I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats though they may be, that are putting mines in the waters of the strait. And he added, there will be no hesitation. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Correspondent Nancy Cordes has more on a Middle East meeting today at the State Department.
The Israeli and Lebanese ambassadors are going to be sitting down with the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others to try to hammer out some kind of agreement that would lead to an end to the fighting between those two countries.
The Trump administration has moved to order the reclassification of state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. It's on to the House now for a Senate-passed bill to fund ICE and the Border Patrol in an effort to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
The bottom line is that there are a lot of people working for this agency. TSA, their paychecks run out at the end of this week because they were funded by the executive branch. FEMA, Coast Guard, people within this agency have been having to show up for work for the past 68 days without the guarantee of a paycheck.
More than 50 homes have been destroyed in Florida and Georgia by fast-moving wildfires. CBS's Skylar Henry is in Waynesville, Georgia.
It is gray in this area as smoke continues to billow throughout this area as well. Air quality poor, which is why we're wearing these N95. So too is visibility. Behind me is what was a mobile home, now leveled because of this wildfire. Firefighters say they are still struggling to contain it.
A step closer to shaking up Hollywood, Warner Brothers shareholders have signed off on the $81 billion merger plan with Paramount Skydance, the parent of CBS News. Correspondent Jolene Kent.
We don't expect this deal to fully close on the regulatory front until towards the end of the year. But certainly here in the United States, we expect to see the deal get waved through by regulators. The question will be what happens overseas, and that matters for this company.
Checking Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down 88 points. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A bombshell report on King County's agency fighting homelessness. We will have the latest on that. But first, we are going to KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And boy, we are still tough on the north-south routes, but it's nothing like yesterday. It's not rainy, and commute is comparatively a breeze. Federal Way of Seattle is 46 minutes compared to over an hour yesterday. And the Linwood Drive to Seattle is just 47 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue on 405 is 48 minutes. You do have a tough go on 405 northbound through the S-curves, but only adding about 5 minutes to your drive. We have that maintenance on 405 southbound in Tukwila, and it looks like it's paired with a collision right around Interurban Avenue that's causing a thick backup all the way behind 167 at this point. It's very thick. The merge from 167 to 405 in both directions is very tough right now. It's backed up about a mile. This report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Millions of dollars earmarked for homelessness have vanished in King County and the city of Seattle, and no one can say where the money went. An audit found the King County Regional Homelessness Authority misplaced $13 million, and they're now $45 million in the hole. City Council member Maritza Rivero told KIRO 7 TV the agency should be dissolved.
We need to take this seriously. We need to disband KCRHA.
In one audit finding, 49 whole accounts were named other, 5 were named miscellaneous, and 30 had no description at all. One thing the audit did not find is any evidence of fraud or misuse of funds. A grim prediction on Seattle's business climate from a local think tank after news of Starbucks' second headquarters in Tennessee.
If you want your businesses to survive and your downtown not to be hollowed out, you need to have an environment where people can succeed.
Ryan Frost is with the Washington Policy Center. He tells KIRO 7 TV Seattle has added more and more taxes. Frost estimates Starbucks could save $250 million over 23 years by moving its corporate presence to Nashville. 2 westbound lanes are closed on the Tacoma Narrows Bridge after crews discovered a ruptured steel beam under the deck. The bridge itself is almost 80 years old. Representative Jake Fay, chair of the House Transportation Committee, spoke to KIRO 7 TV earlier this week and says the state previously identified $180 million in maintenance work needed.
If you don't take care of things right on a regular basis, then it deteriorates and you can get into a situation where you have to replace it.
The State Department of Transportation is working on a fix for the bridge, but those lanes could be closed through the weekend. Your weather report shows we are going to get rid of those clouds and have sun in the afternoon, or at least partly cloudy. Mostly sunny tomorrow and Saturday with highs in the mid-60s. It's 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the G and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday. Happy Draft Day. That's right. The NFL Draft is this evening, and the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock at pick number 32. But other than that, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Good morning, Ursula.
Oh, my goodness. When you talk about a bloated show, when you talk about scrambling before the show because we have so many things that we want to pack in here for all of you listening right now, you heard about this bombshell audit that shows millions of King County taxpayer dollars can't be accounted for. This is a new audit, by the way. This is not the one that we spoke with the county executive about and county council member Rod Dembowski. This is a brand new audit. This is one that involves the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, which Seattle pays a lot of money to. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to have Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth joining us live here in studio. So we're going to ask her about that and a whole lot more. Make sure that you give us your questions. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Up to $13 million in taxpayer money, and the people in charge of tackling homelessness in this region cannot clearly account for it. We've been talking about this all morning long. That is the reality coming out of a new audit of the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Now, the agency is saying that the money isn't missing, per se. They say it's tied up in accounting problems. But this audit, which was requested by the authority's new CEO, shows that the agency paid providers first and then planned to get reimbursements later, but they didn't keep clean enough records along the way. So we're talking about millions of dollars that are spent, not fully tracked, matched, or verified in the system. And unfortunately, this is not a one-time mistake. The audit says the King County Regional Homelessness Authority has weak financial controls, no reliable system to track certain funds, and a history of overspending and running deficits. And that includes going $44 million in the hole. The CEO says this is the result of a very complicated system. You've probably heard about pandemic-era growth and a lot of money coming in and a flawed funding model. So now some lawmakers, including City Council member Maritza Rivera and King County Council member Rod Dembowski, are calling for this agency to shut down entirely.
Yeah. Once again, I cannot really believe. Actually, I can. All of the news points to that way. So Ursula, I was trying to figure out what angle I wanted to take with this, and since I talked about and I started off with football today, I want to start off with a football analogy today. When a coach goes 3 0-14 on the season in the NFL, most of the time they get fired. And when the coach gets fired, most of the time the next year they don't show up to another team and have a doubled salary. Let me tell you where I'm going with that. You know, we keep blaming all of the people that have made these mistakes or the system that they point to that have made these mistakes. And then, like you said, Ursula, there was another county department, DCHS, and we all know about that whole grant budget and how it exploded from $22 million in 2019 to $1.5 billion by 2023. We had, and we've talked about the audit that came there. They want to get to the bottom of things. And if my memory serves me right, there was at one point, I don't know, it was a couple years ago, year and a half ago, where a whistleblower who flagged the fraud was actually fired 4 days later after that, the whistleblower. Now, Ursula, when I talk about the head coach, I want to be very crystal clear who I'm talking about. Who built all this? Who was the leader that was in charge during all of this? Who was at the wheel for 16 years? Dal Constantine. You know, the guy that did an awful job, obviously, and then he gets his promotion as he goes over to as CEO of Sound Transit, where his salary goes from $245,000 a year to $474,000 a year. Kids don't get help. Taxpayers, y'all get fleeced. And we just keep talking about it over and over again. I'm telling you, if that happened during that time, what's going to happen with Sound Transit? And by the way, I'm not assuming, but I can only go off of what we continue to keep talking about.
Yeah, I want to be shocked, G. I mean, I want to be shocked, but sadly, I'm not. At this point, though, as a King County taxpayer, I am furious. This is not a surprise. This is a pattern. And I've said it before, from almost the inception of the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, it should have been shut down a long time ago. It was a bold plan. It was considered a regional solution to a regional problem, a once-in-a-generation fix to homelessness.
Yeah.
Let's pool all our money together, get all the cities involved, streamline the system. It was a grand idea, but it has failed miserably.
Yep.
And now we have audit after audit pointing out the same thing. Sloppy oversight, broken systems, millions of dollars that cannot be tracked. And you brought up Dow Constantine. Absolutely. Like, that's an example of someone who failed upward. But when it comes to this particular agency, because now the question is, do you continue? Do you scrap it all together? Do you, continue to give it money? Seattle's current mayor is bypassing this agency for her homelessness plan. The previous mayor basically did the same thing.
Yep.
So the very leaders who are supposed to be relying on this system that gets millions and millions of our taxpayer dollars don't trust it enough to use it. So what are we paying for? More than $100 million a year flows through this department. So what do we have to show for it? Is homelessness meaningfully down in this region?
No.
Are fewer people living on the streets? Is the system faster, more effective, more accountable? The answer is no to all of the above, and it is time for this agency to be dismantled now.
It needs to be gone by tomorrow. There needs to be something. I know that there is going to be a press conference by King County Council member Rob Dembowski. He's going to be talking and speaking at 10 o'clock. It needs to be gone yesterday. And, again, we're talking about this, and I'm sure you all have read or you've seen or you just heard Ursula with the news. Here's the problem I think that we all have. The problem that we all have is we're talking about it. And come Friday, Monday, next week after that, nothing happens. We're supposed to forget all about this. People will sit there and blame the system. right? They say that this system is broken, right? And it just goes on. And in some people, and maybe somebody might say, well, gee, I think you're being unfair towards Dow Constantine. Well, who in the heck am I supposed to talk about? Who? Because everybody keeps pointing to the system, but we keep getting the same results, and we still get no accountability.
Well, I think it goes Dow Constantine, yes. Also, King County Council members, Seattle City Council members, the people who were involved with this agency directly. Why weren't these systems put in place? Why is it that they cannot account for this money? You can't keep blaming the pandemic money that was coming in. No. It was so much.
Nope.
Like, no one would get away with that explanation.
Nobody.
So, yeah, who is going to be held accountable? I'll tell you how people can react. You say no to anything that requires more money until you show, as a county, as a city, as a regional homelessness authority, or whatever department it is. I mean, again, this is separate from King County's Department of Community and Human Services, which that audit, thank you to the Seattle Times for reporting on it, raised a huge amount of flags. We had Rod Dembowski in here saying there's a potential that actual crimes were committed. Mm-hmm. And so we need to see that if there were some crimes committed, that they are held accountable for that. Mm-hmm. One person did not get their job or was not able to hold their job, but that's not accountability. So what's accountability is saying, you know what, you get no more of my dollars. Anything that you ask me to vote for, I'm going to say no to unless I feel like my money is being handled properly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way you can do it. And you vote different people in.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Wow, what a story.
Well, we are going to have the Seattle City Council president on with us.
Yeah.
So she's going to have fun.
And by the way, shout out to the president of Seattle City Council, because I just wanted to confirm, like, hey, you still coming in? She said, absolutely.
We thought we were going to have two council members.
Yeah, absolutely. She said, I'm coming in. So shout out to Joy Hollingsworth. So
yes. Okay, well, let's move on, because here's another story. For folks who take public transit, if you've ever waited on Route 8, you know why people call it the late 8, apparently. And Seattle's mayor says she's finally going to fix it. So she has this new plan that would convert 13 more blocks of Denny Way into bus-only lanes this summer. And that stretches about 1.3 miles from Queen Anne to Stewart Street.
What are you going to do to help the people who are trying to get to I-5, trying to get to South Lake Union, trying to get to Seattle Center and get around this part of town?
So what we're talking about is making it possible for more and more people to move around our city and our region by public transit.
Okay, I want to credit Como 4 News' Chris Daniels. So again, the goal is to speed up a route that is one of apparently the most or least reliable in the system. Only 31% of Route 8 buses arrive on time during afternoon commutes. Didn't the mayor say this is a bus route that she uses?
Yeah.
And so, but here's the problem of what Chris Daniels was trying to get to. Drivers heading east will go from 2 lanes down to 1 in some of the busiest parts of Denny. And we're talking about 20 to 30,000 cars a day use that stretch. And so the city is expecting some of them to shift routes or switch to transit.
Here's why I love this story. I love this story because the mayor herself, she rode the 8. She knows the 8. She understands the 8. She didn't read about the 8. So guess what she about to do? She about to fix the 8. And when I think about the fix of the 8, I'm thinking about the workers. I'm thinking about students. I'm thinking about aunties. I'm thinking about some of your loved ones that are on fixed income. I'm thinking about those people, because here it is 31%. It is late. 31% of the time, the late 8 is that way on Route 8. So the reason why I love this story so much, watch this, y'all. This is simple. The mayor knows what to do because she's been through and understands it. You see, that's the problem that we have with a lot of these topics we talk about. A lot of these folks, well, I read this thesis and did this survey and I did all of this and I think that this should work. No, she's able to make this work because she's been through it. She's rolled the H.
She wasn't hiding that this is my route, and I know it's bad. Now, what about folks who are saying, wait a minute, though? This is a war on cars. And this is another, I mean, there are 20 to 30,000 cars a day that use that, and it's just going to screw up traffic for those because now we're going from 2 lanes to 1, and these are some of the busiest stretches.
What you got to say to him?
There is a war on cars.
Okay.
Take the bus?
There you go. It's a war on cars. I'm sorry.
I don't want to. Well, you know, my thing is restricting. I'm actually, no. Here's what I say. If it is proven that those routes are heavily used with public transit, then they do need to be given priority. Where I go bananas is when bike lanes that are not used are put into streets, major arterials, and those bike lanes are not heavily used, and it does impact traffic.
That's why I don't want nobody to bring up bike lanes today.
Wait,
but the buses,
yeah.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Don't talk to me about no bike lanes.
Okay. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Maybe some other folks have different opinions.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's talk about something going on in Milton because a city council member there is facing backlash this morning after suggesting that people who don't speak English should not be allowed to drive through that city. According to King 5, council member Bob Whalen made these comments during a discussion about limiting semi-truck traffic, and this was on Monday.
Can you develop something that protects the citizens of Milton from non-English speaking drivers?
Well, I'd have to have a discussion with our legal team and also with the Attorney General because currently in the state of Washington, they don't have that restriction. Is my understanding.
But I think we as a citizen, corporation, so forth, can have our own, whether they have one or not. If you can't speak English, you don't transit through the city of Milton.
Whoa. Well, there is a federal rule, though, requiring commercial drivers to have enough English proficiency to be able to read signs and communicate. But again, local police say enforcing that is not something that they handle day to day.
Here's why I sent this story to you, and I'm glad it made it to the rundown. Sophia, thank you. The reason why I love this story so much, because I want an opportunity to call out Chief Hernandez. Yes, sir. If you're a family member of Chief Hernandez, or you work with or around Chief Hernandez, I want this to be known. Chief Hernandez, you're an amazing person. Because at this time, he said, quote, no. We haven't run into that problem.
Yes.
We got bilingual officers. We got technology that lets us talk to anybody in any language right there on the side of the road. So we're good. Did you hear that? Did you see and hear how Chief Hernandez handled that? This is a man that knows his job. This is a man that knows his community. So he gets this political football thrown at him. Yes. But I just need him to speak English, right? He gets that thrown at him, and Chief Hernandez is very professional. So that's what you call...
That was a good comeback.
It's called leadership.
Yes.
And I don't know who Chief Hernandez is, but by the way, I'm saying his name so many times on purpose.
Yeah. Yes.
Chief Hernandez, that's what I'm talking about. That's leadership.
Yeah. Council member Whalen, again, example of saying the quiet part out loud.
Oh, come on, Ursula.
And then B,
come on.
Giving a solution
in search
of a problem.
Yeah, that's your favorite one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now listen, y'all. We got a lot going on today. We got President of the Seattle City Council, Joy Hollingsworth, will join us in studio. 9:47. Sophia knows it. It's world famous. Would you rather? And coming up at 9:30, coming up next, you got to stick around. Our very own KIRO News reporter, Luke Ducey, is coming in to talk about a Seattle high schooler's Google Doodle. Let me say it again. I absolutely destroyed that. Let me try it again. Seattle high schoolers Google Doodle. There we go. That was a lot better. We do that next. Gee and Ursula.
local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
The action is fierce, the energy is over the top, and it's a night you don't want to miss. It's Excite Fight Live MMA at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. See a full night of incredible combat when MMA fighters face off in the cage and turn the excitement all the way up. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Washington Lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington Lottery, Lottery, Lottery. Play Washington Lottery, Lottery, yeah.
Visit wildlottery.com. Who benefits to learn more?
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Tensions rising in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces have seized another tanker they believe was smuggling Iranian oil. This comes one day after Iran seized two commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes has the latest.
The president said earlier this morning that minesweepers, U.S. minesweepers, are clearing the strait up now, and he is ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled up level. Again, unclear what that actually means in practice, because the U.S. military is already working hard to clear the strait.
A ceasefire is in place, but it's not clear how long that will last or when peace talks could resume. Meanwhile, gas prices went up again overnight, making up ground after last week's dip. According to AAA, the average price of a gallon is now $5.39 in Washington, up about 2 cents from yesterday. Petroleum analysts say the conflict in Iran is still the main issue affecting supply and price, but the U.S. is now exporting more oil than ever before, setting records 2 weeks in a row for volume. Working to the wee hours of the night, the Senate passed a funding resolution with $70 billion for the Department of Homeland Security. Washington Senator Patty Murray was one of many Democrats in opposition.
And cutting another blank check for Stephen Miller's deranged mass deportation dreams without ensuring any sort of accountability, none whatsoever.
Democrats have tried to use their own forcing function through a partial government shutdown to get reforms for immigration enforcement agencies, but so far that hasn't worked. Police in Pasco need help unraveling a bizarre mystery. Investigators discovered two men who have been living under stolen identities for more than 30 years. Tim Seidenfeld and Glenn Scotzen are the names of two young boys who died in Idaho in the 70s. Detectives believe two men now living in the area assumed their identities going back to the early 90s when they were believed to have worked in the telecommunications industry. They have ties to Seattle, Salem, Oregon, and lots of other states around the region. If you know anything about their history, contact police. We have their photos on mynorthwest.com. Now we're going to look at your traffic, and it's pretty light, especially compared to yesterday. Linwood to Seattle, 43 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue on 405, 42 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 32 minutes right now. And Federal Way to Seattle is 36 minutes. It looks like we've cleared most of our blocking issues as well, so I expect those travel times to go down. This report is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. We're going to have a pretty nice day. Dry. We're going to have some peaks of the sun later today. High of 62, and it only gets better through the weekend. 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is 9:34, and it is a beautiful Thursday morning. Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. This next story we're going to talk about, Gee, is something that you wanted to make sure that we bring to the show because you said it was fantastic. We were hoping to have Luke in, but we're going to try our best to share what's going on because there's this Seattle high school student who has been selected as one of 5 students who are going to be having their artwork featured on the Google homepage. I mean, how cool is that? So this was part of the annual Google for Doodle contest. And in case you haven't been paying attention, when you Google, I mean, there is artwork and you always wonder like, well, where'd that come from? Right. So the contest invites K through 12 students from across the country to create original artwork based on a different yearly theme.
Right.
And the top 5 will win a $10,000 scholarship and then have their artwork displayed on the Google homepage and the chance to compete as the national winner. And the prize gets so much bigger than it would be a $45,000 scholarship and a $50,000 school tech package for their school. So the school benefits as well. So the student we're talking about is Kamira Johnson, who is 18 years old. She is at Lakeside School, and the contest theme this year is My Superpower Is. And so, G, what is it that she decided to focus on when it comes to her superpower?
I can tell it, but do you have the sound? I can tell it. I don't want to mess it up for everybody.
Okay, so here it is.
Find all these amazing qualities about Black hair. It's something that people are ridiculed for. It's not the conventional beauty standard. Like all throughout history and today, Black people are being put down for how they wear their hair and express themselves.
So her artist statement read that my superpower is my hair and the family history that it carries.
So in her illustration is of she and her mom and her sister, and it shows how each one of them have different styles of hair. And she talked about, and she, to me, like I was talking to Luke Ducey about this, and the story is so powerful. And she's talking about how her power comes from her hair. And for especially Black women, sometimes, right, they have faced negativity and negative stigmas behind their hair. Right? In schools, you can't put your hair in locks, and you can't put your hair in braids, and you can't do these things, and or maybe, and I don't want to make people uncomfortable, but I'm going to say something that maybe you don't do it anymore, or it's been done, but it's going to be, hey, can I touch your hair?
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So the fact that she was able to turn this around and speak it of the positive, man, it touched my heart.
Yeah. So she said, my superpower is my hair and the family history that it carries. Each texture and style holds culture, care, and survival passed down without words. Lying in the grass, our crowns rest without weakening. This kinky hair refuses conformity. It makes us different. Shaped by our lineage, our hair is undeniably beautiful. So apparently she spent more than 40 hours on the piece, and her mom, Simone, told Luke that she couldn't be more proud of her daughter.
The heart that she has for other people, the wisdom beyond her years, those are the things that really caused me to marvel about Kamira.
I love that. So again, the 5 finalists' artwork is going to appear on the Google homepage starting next week on April 28th, and then we all can vote for a favorite.
You already
Vote
know.
for her.
But, hey, we're going to be voting a lot, bringing this up a lot. But, man, what a fantastic story this was.
Well, and I wanted to just touch on that a little bit because you said, some people might not realize this, or maybe this is something that you've done. And speak to that, because that is something that I was taught early on. It's like that is something that you just don't do, even though you're thinking, I'm giving someone a compliment about their hair.
Sure.
Or it's like, can I touch it?
Yeah. And I want to just say this. Those things, I think that, when you know better, you do better. Yeah. But you have grace and empathy for that, right? Somebody does that, they didn't mean any harm. They just didn't know. And so I can understand that. I think for me, the crushing things that I've seen in my lifetime is when there's school policy that's written about someone's hair, when the young man can't have the dreads in his hair. Or if you guys remember, you guys can look this up. Remember the young man that was wrestling and they would not let him continue with his hair? and they cut his hair at the event.
Okay, that's a lot.
And there's been school suspensions centered around you can't wear your hair that way. So, again, the whole touching of the hair, that part, look, I mean, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Empathy for that. But when you have school policies centered around that, now, it's a good thing that we're in 2026 now. It's starting, a lot of schools are getting better with that. So
yeah, I mean, there's a way to have a school policy that addresses what you're trying to deal with without harming someone's culture.
Right. Now, how about color in the hair? If they stopped, are they still against that too? Let's like if somebody wants to color their hair blue or red, or
I don't know. They would be banning a lot of kids.
I mean,
there's a lot of young people who have
15,
a lot of adults too who color their hair.
That's what I'm saying. 15, 20 years ago, but
what I love about this piece too, just in how she wrote about it, and I can see why she was chosen.
Yeah.
To turn it into your superpower.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
I love it, and the stories that it holds.
Yes.
And what it represents, and how it's, a sign of power versus weakness. Yeah, I love it.
All right, we still got a big show for you guys. So here's what's going to happen. Coming up at 10 o'clock, the president of the Seattle City Council, Joy Hollingsworth, will join us in studio. Now, she agreed that she was going to be with us for a couple segments. So you guys can send in your questions that we will have for her. And I guess we'll be definitely talking about the King County Regional Housing Authority. We're definitely going to bring that up.
Yeah, and the money that cannot be accounted for. And there is a call to do audits of Seattle city departments as well.
Mm-hmm.
So where does she stand on that? We've also got to talk about public safety. And
everybody wants to talk about public safety.
Yeah, exactly. We also had the new, bigger library levy. We need to ask about that at a time when people are feeling taxed out. So we got a lot to ask her.
Okay. All right. Hey, coming up next, world famous. It's Would You Rather, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener. Like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Okay, Nick, I see you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody, it is the Gee and Ursula Show. Next segment coming up at 10 o'clock. President of Seattle City Council, Joy Hollingsworth, will join the show. Send your questions in, but right now, I don't have it pulled up. It's the world famous Would You Rather game. So here we go. Would you rather be Mayor Katie Wilson for a month or Council President Joy Hollingsworth for a month?
I'm going with Joy because I choose Joy.
That was a great PR answer.
That was good. I'm going to pick the president of city council, and the reason why is because in that situation, you can still have a big office, but if stuff goes down, nobody really comes for the president.
Oh, no, they do. No.
They used to.
Yeah, no, they do. They go after council members, and we can ask
once a
Joy
week.
about that.
Once a week, they have to hear public comment. So that's the difference.
No. They also get the emails. They also get the calls. They also get the
but the mayor gets the call too.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: the president, and we can ask Joy about this.
Yeah.
They have to hear public comment every week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The mayor doesn't have to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. Here we go, Ursula. Would you rather host the World Cup with no homeless plan, or have the homeless plan figured out but lose the World Cup?
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. We're going to host the World Cup. We might not have as many visitors as we originally thought.
Okay.
And we won't have a very clear homelessness plan. And we may have an agency that still exists that is in complete chaos. I'm laughing and I'm giving kind of
some levity.
Goofy. I'm putting levity into a very serious topic.
Do we still have a czar?
Oh, please. Can we retire those?
Okay. Would you rather live in Seattle with surveillance cameras on every corner, or live in Seattle with 0 cameras anywhere? Because you guys remember, a lot of the activists said Big Brother's watching, so no. But Chief Barnes got on here and says cameras help solve homicides.
Yeah, I'm going to go with more cameras.
Yeah.
I already figure I've got cameras around my house already. Just add them.
Yeah, but public safety is a big deal to those. Sophia?
There's got to be a happy medium.
Sophia, what do you got?
Yeah, I think happy medium is my words of wisdom always, right?
Yeah, there wasn't that option, but you and I are going to carve it out.
You guys just landed in the middle, huh?
Yeah. We love a PR answer.
Would you rather ride the L8, the Route 8 bus during rush hour, or walk from Capitol Hill to Seattle Center in the rain?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Would
You're
you
really going for the newsy things? Okay.
No.
Uh-huh.
Would you rather ride the late bus, or they call it, or the L8 bus, or the Route 8 bus here in Seattle during rush hour, or walk from Capitol Hill to Seattle Center in the rain?
Walking in the rain's not great for the hair. I want to see what the mayor sees, so I'm going on the late bus.
Okay. Sophia?
I might go ahead and get my steps in. Yeah, it would be raining, but you can make it a moment, put your headphones on, grab an umbrella, and go on a little stroll. I can zone out a lot when I'm on a walk. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. How about you? Why aren't you answering these?
Oh, yeah. I have little patience, and you guys know that. So
yes.
I'm walking.
Really?
I'm walking.
No.
I'm walking in the rain. I'm walking in the rain, right? Because I waiting and knowing this get 31%. It's 31% of the time it is late. I'd rather get in the rain, be a little wet. Guess what? We live in Seattle. We'll be all right.
You'll be wet and late.
Yeah, but there's something kind of like a movie scene in that, like dramatic, like, sorry, I'm late. You have a reason.
Would you rather get promoted to do a job that you're not qualified for, but you get double the pay, or stay in the same job that you're great at with the same salary forever?
Okay. I'm going to go for the stretch.
Wait, what's the stretch?
The stretch is maybe I'm not qualified for the position, but that hasn't stopped other people, particularly a lot of men who get jobs that maybe they aren't. And I didn't mean to. I'm just saying.
No, you did not take a shot at Sound Transit. No, you did not.
No.
No. Go ahead, Ursula. I'm just making sure.
No, I didn't. And I wasn't taking a shot at all men either. But I just want to point out that so often, and we talked about it, too often, women who are qualified won't think they're qualified, and they will stay in the same position, whereas and the same salary, whereas there are a lot of people who are unqualified, and men tend to be better at this, where they'll say, hey, I'm just going to sell myself and then figure it out later.
Wow. I don't disagree. I agree with you. We have a lot of times where, where they can say they didn't earn it. You know what I mean? They didn't earn it. It's just something. I know that DEI word comes up a lot. Hey, good stuff. Coming up next, Send your questions in. We got a guest that's going to be with us for a couple segments. Love the fact that she's coming in. Seattle City Council's President Joy Hollingsworth will join us next. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
The Mariners are all about giving you more baseball for your buck. With Mariners Value Games, you can score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long. Plus, be sure to check out the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup. Available every game and featuring 36 items. From ballpark classics like hot dogs, nachos, and refillable sodas to canned brews starting at just $5. Go to mariners.com/value to grab your value game tickets and check out the full slate of value options at T-Mobile Park.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump lashes out at Iran on social media. CBS's Linda Kenyon at the White House.
While the president claims the Strait of Hormuz has been sealed up tight, he posted, quote, "I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats though they may be, that is putting mines in the waters of the strait." He added, "There is to be no hesitation." Trump also posted that U.S. minesweepers are clearing the strait, and he said, "I am hereby ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled-up level."
And the U.S. has seized an Iranian-linked oil tanker in the Indian Ocean. Now to the southeast, where more than 50 homes have been destroyed in wildfires that have hit dry and windy southern Georgia.
In Atkinson, Georgia, Brittany Quinn had no time to grab anything before she evacuated.
As I'm getting my mother-in-law out of the house and my kids, we see the fire coming through the backyard.
She went back to find nothing left.
My house is gone.
Lori Seitz evacuated her home yesterday and can only hope it's still there.
I lose my RV, and of course I have nothing to live in.
Brantley County Sheriff Len Davis.
And remember, this wind is still unpredictable. This fire is favorable for a rapid growth.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Capitol Hill, CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has more on the struggle to ease the partial government shutdown and fund Homeland Security.
House Republicans said they're not going to pass a DHS funding bill until the Senate takes up a longer-term funding resolution. So that's what the Senate was trying to do last night. And what the Senate passed last night is basically just a framework to fund DHS and Customs and Border Patrol for the next 3 years.
The Trump administration has moved to reclassify state-licensed medical marijuana. The order does not legalize marijuana for medical or recreational use under federal law. But legal analyst Lori Levinson says it does change the way it's regulated.
Cannabis probably will be studied more for its medicinal effects, but it will certainly ease the tax burden on those businesses that are involved in cannabis sales.
There's a major recall of several Jaguar and Land Rover models, as we hear from Jeff Gilbert from affiliate WWJ Detroit.
There have been nearly 6,000 warranty claims related to this problem, including various Range Rovers, Defenders, Discoveries, and Jaguar SUVs, 2019 through 24 model years. The problem has been traced to a microchip, but a remedy has not yet been developed.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 166 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Millions of dollars unaccounted for at a major government agency. We are going to get into that in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. And we are right on track for where we usually are today because there's no rain to throw off the commute. Linwood to Seattle is now just 25 minutes. So you can kind of relax and take your time to get in because you're not going to suffer the 74-minute drive we had at this time yesterday. Renton to Bellevue on 405 is still dragging a little bit at 28 minutes. But the opposite direction, Linwood to Bellevue, is 39 minutes. That's doing well. Keep in mind, there is also some maintenance happening on 405 southbound, and I believe a collision just east of Interurban. That's going to delay you for about a mile. It's going to take a few extra minutes to get through there, but nothing else serious that I can see that's blocking. The lake bridges are clear. The Southtown is a speed limit drive. And once you get past Linwood, your speed limit drive mostly to the Canadian border. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are your stress-free dealership. SubaruofPuyallup.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Millions of dollars of funding for King County's top homeless service agency are unaccounted for. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the finding comes after a forensic audit, and now some leaders want to clean house.
The audit found for some 5 years the King County Regional Homeless Authority misplaced and misused $13 million, and now they're $45 million in the hole. Just one example the audit found, 49 whole counts were named other, 5 were named miscellaneous, 30 had no description at all. The agency also didn't keep track of cash advancements. King County Council member Rod Dembowski and City Council member Maritza Rivera are now calling for the agency to be dissolved. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Good news heading into fire season. The state legislature has restored all $60 million in wildfire preparedness funding it cut last year. Commissioner of Public Lands Dave Upthegrove told Seattle's Morning News he made it his top priority, arguing prevention is a lot cheaper than the $300 million the state spent putting fires out last season. Washington is now in its 4th consecutive year of drought, making this funding even more critical.
Drought alone doesn't necessarily increase wildfire risk, but it can change how big fires move.
The money goes toward fire department grants, staffing, and reducing fuel loads in forests. The State Department of Transportation says it's on schedule to wrap up work on the Ship Canal Bridge in time for the World Cup.
We're making really good progress, and we do plan to be open by Monday morning, June 8th.
The state's Tom Pierce says all lanes of northbound I-5 will be open for the duration of the World Cup games in Seattle. Work will restart and the lane reductions unfortunately return in July. Happening now at schools across East Pierce County. Not an earthquake drill, but a volcano drill. Thousands of students walking lahar evacuation routes. A lahar is a flood of water, mud, rock, and debris that can form a fast-moving wall of destruction after an eruption. Mount Rainier is considered dormant, but if it were to erupt, thousands of people would be under threat in the Puyallup Valley area. Now we're going to check your weather report, and we're going to stay nice today. Morning clouds dissolve into partly cloudy weather, and it only gets better through the weekend with highs in the mid-60s. It's 51 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Thursday, y'all. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Grateful that you guys are hanging out with me. I've been doing this dang on show all week. And this sun.
You're ready for the weekend?
The sun is tripping. The sun is it just don't want to come out. I don't know what the problem is. You know what this sun reminds me of?
It's coming back.
It reminds me every time I step on the scale. You do everything right. You know you do everything. As a matter of fact, you do it in the morning with nothing on. Nothing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you even take off the jewelry,
you
everything.
take off the jewelry.
Yes.
That's the only time I take the wedding ring off.
Do you ever
don't
carry any body parts and things?
I don't carry nothing. And I hold my breath.
Yeah.
Make sure I use the bathroom first. And I do everything. I sit on down. I get the lightest weight in it. Nothing. Good morning, Ursula.
You're feeling like that's what the sun's doing right now? Because I heard from Nick Aller that it's still going to be sunny this weekend. It's just not going to be quite as warm. So upper 60s. Still going to be almost Chamber of Commerce kind of day.
Reminds me of when I tell Lillian, you got the best weekend ever.
Yes. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
Well, there's a growing sense right now that Seattle may be at a bit of a crossroads. We've been telling you about this bombshell audit raising serious questions about how homelessness dollars are being tracked in King County. And there are ongoing concerns from the business community about whether Seattle is still competitive. And there's always this debate over what public safety should look like in downtown Seattle. And then on top of all of that, voters are being asked to approve a larger library levy at a time when we're being told on the text line, a lot of people are already feeling stretched. So where is the city of Seattle headed? And how do leaders of the city measure whether things are actually getting better. Well, joining us right now, live in studio, is Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm here. I'm excited. It's a beautiful Thursday. We got that liquid sunshine. All right.
Something those of us who've lived here a long time have really gotten accustomed to.
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to get right to, obviously we have this this report that came out, and it came out late last night, and the reaction has been fast and furious. And for those who are just joining us right now, this forensic audit of the King County Regional Homelessness Authority, which Seattle pays the most when it comes to dollars going to that agency, they found that there are about $8 million in unreconciled funds. Total discrepancies could be up to $13 million that cannot be clearly accounted for. Some leaders, including one of your council colleagues, is calling for this just to be done away with. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, thank you for that question. And I just want to say I had scheduled this before the audit came out. Okay, so I had to bring some notes. And I still came. Of course,
Thank you.
Of course. Look, so Seattle puts in between 50 to 60% of the overall budget for King County Regional Homeless Authority. Since their inception, we've put over $500 million. So $500 million has gone into this organization from the city. And so they have not gotten the outcomes that we have wanted. We know there are a lot of growth edges on that. The second thing that is very concerning are the accounts that cannot, be accounted for between $8 and $13 million. That is a concern. So it's something like if you had put this audit in front of me and didn't say who it was, and said, hey, should we still be doing 50 to 60% investment in this? I'd say no, right? Like, absolutely not. I think I would like us to reinvest that money into our own human services department. We can have more oversight. We can have better accountability, better transparency, and better outcomes. So I would like Seattle to start moving in that direction.
Okay, so I want you to flat out say, is it time to just dismantle this particular organization and bring it in-house, which apparently is happening anyway, since the mayor's plan has nothing to do with the Regional Homelessness Authority.
Yeah, it's time for us to figure out what that path looks like. Yes, okay? You can't just cut off the lights, because then you have folks that might lose services. There are, providers that are doing that. But I do believe it's time for us to see a different pathway, and that is bringing it in-house in Seattle.
Joy.
Yes.
Every other week, we talking about misappropriation of funds, missing funds. The word fraud gets used. Audits get used. And then when the audits happen, it never comes up to like, you know what? The money is accounted for every single time. It is coming this way. So I've asked this to others, so I want to ask you. When you and your colleagues are together talking about things, my question is it the people or is it the system? Why does this keep happening? Because there's a lot of people that are listening right now that are like, y'all keep doing this.
Yeah.
Not you personally.
I get it.
Just in totality. Is it the people or is it the system?
Well, I'm part of the system too, right? Because I'm the one voting for people's dollars. And so it is all of us that are within government, that are in the county, the state. It's the whole entire system, how we have thought about this part where we're always talking about we're a wealthy city, we have progressive taxes, but we never talk about, well, what are the outcomes are for certain things? What are the things that we're getting to? It's we need more money, and that's a problem that I have. And so I think it's a system failure on the outcome piece. It's a system failure on understanding that, ideology a little bit. We have great ideas, but we don't have really good structure on implementation as well. Mm-hmm. I do believe that we have to pull those contracts, obviously, like I said, back into in-house.
But I just want to push back respectfully.
You can
okay,
push back.
Here's a pushback.
Yeah.
You said that all of us are part of the system, and you're right. It's because some of us, we vote or certain types of ways.
Yeah.
But the voters and a lot of people, the majority of people that are part of this system that you're talking about, they don't have any control. And so there are people that get paid to be in control. And when these people don't do the right things with some of these systems that are in place, it feels like most of us don't have any type of accountability, and all we have to talk about is when is Ursula or anybody in the news going to bring it up again and again and again. Yeah. So when will the buck finally just stop and say enough is enough?
Let me clarify that. When I said we, I'm talking about government officials. So I don't see myself, because I know that, so I just want to clarify, I do not expect you as a voter to be doing audits at King County Regional Homeless Authority.
Right.
So when I say we, I'm talking about elected officials, I'm talking about City of Seattle, those folks that actually have voting metrics in this system, okay?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. But where does the buck stop? It stops now. We are always talking about audits. We get that information. Now you have to have the political will to say, you know what, I can't continue to go on and vote this way. And honestly, I can't, right? There's too many people suffering. There are too many different things that we've seen on the street. We have to have better outcomes. That's what the voters are wanting. That's what people want. We got to have better outcomes.
And Joy, I want to just say that our text line blew up in the last hour when we talked about it, and a lot of people were bringing up the homelessness, industrial complex, and this just feeds into that idea of you just keep pouring money in. The problem does not get solved, and it's a moneymaker for a lot of people, but it's not benefiting those who are the most vulnerable. So I want to go back to, you said we want to bring it in-house.
Yeah.
So just to spell it out, I understand that there are programs and contracts and providers that need to be dealt with in dismantling it, but you don't see a future for King County Regional Homelessness Authority as it stands right now.
Not after this audit, not with what I've seen on the outcomes, not when I've seen, providers not get paid within 12 months and running at a negative deficit, $13 million unaccounted for. No, I don't.
And bringing it in-house, I know that I believe it was Councilmember Maritza Rivera who said, after seeing what happened with King County Human Services and their department and the revelation that an audit there also found huge problems with tracking money, humongous amounts of money, taxpayer dollars. And I think she, and I don't know if there are others who are also calling for City of Seattle audits to do the same. Would you support that?
So I support any time that we can have audits that offer that offers people to understand where the money is going, right? But I also want to clarify that City of Seattle, our system is different, where people have to submit invoices before they get paid. So that's very different than what maybe the county or the state might do as an advance to folks. Mm-hmm. You have to submit an invoice. But yeah, I would welcome any type of thing that would give people comfort knowing that their tax dollars are being spent properly.
You guys are listening to the voice of Seattle City's Council's president, Joy Hollingsworth, here on the G and Ursula Show. I want to go back to what I believe was one of your first big tests. We all got to hear it. Some got to see it. And that was when the ICE protest in the chambers that forced you to call a recess, if you will. You kept order. You kept the session moving and everything. But this is a little time to tell us, what did that teach you about leading under pressure? Because I'm sure as you've been in this role, you've learned a lot of things, but I want to know what that moment taught you about leading under pressure. That's a great question. You know what it brought me back to? We were down by 1. We were playing TCU in this tournament, basketball, so played Division I basketball, and I had to hit 2 free throws with like 4 seconds left, and practicing for that pressure every day. And you transition, they're eerily similar where the role that I'm in now, which is being calm, being focused, being kind, and making sure that, you're keeping the peace. So there's no different from what I practice as an athlete and transitioning over into now. And what that taught me about my moment is that if you're calm, cool, and collective, and you are kind to people, and you set boundaries, and you make sure that you're consistent with that, you're going to get great outcomes. People are still going to protest. People are still going to come to City Hall, but we're going to treat each other with respect,
number one. We're going to be kind to each other. We're not going to yell and shout. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to make sure that we can have conversations. I'm all about conversations over divisiveness.
But once a week they come in there and when do y'all listen? Tuesdays?
Tuesday at 2:00.
Tuesdays at 2:00.
Yeah.
It's free reign. They can come in and say any and everything that they want. Now you're smiling now.
Yeah.
Keep going with that. How do you keep? Because is this something? Do you believe that a lot of public officials need to be having that type of connection with the community, where they actually have to hear comments?
Absolutely. I think we, at any point in time, I'm accessible online, email. People see me in the streets, at the bus, I'm riding my bike. We have conversations, and they come to city council and they talk. I believe that people should have that opportunity. It's public comment. What I do know is oftentimes their not aggression, but maybe like, their frustration, because aggressive is
loaded.
Thank you. So loaded. That frustration against us sometimes is not against us. It's what's going on at the federal level. It's what might be going on in the world. You never know what someone's going through. Someone had just gotten evicted from their apartment and came down and poured their heart out, and they were frustrated. You just never know. And so I always start with, I will come at peace and respect that, and we'll hopefully get that back.
Well, one of the biggest frustrations that we hear often is that city leaders say that progress is being made, but if, let's say, you go downtown and you're like, well, wait a minute, how come I don't feel some of these things that we're saying are happening? Or you're seeing encampments still around the city, or you're seeing open-air drug use, or businesses closing, and there's every headline about this business is leaving in Seattle, they're going to Bellevue. What are maybe 2 or 3 metrics that you use that determine that, hey, what's happening right now and where Seattle is going, it is the right direction?
Yeah, there are a number of things. Number one, that could just be the feeling from comments that I get from folks. Those are small business owners. Those are people in the community. Those are neighborhood groups that I'm interacting with every day. You kind of take a temperature check. It's not necessarily a number. It's more of, the qualitative, not the quantitative, the qualitative interaction, what's going on. The second piece, I'm always looking at gun violence and how is it affecting our city. If you are in Southeast Seattle, you're 13% of the population, but you're 30% of the gun violence. So when those numbers move down in that area, then that's a metric that I'm seeing, like, hey, are we curbing that gun violence that's going on in our city? And the third piece, I'm also looking at rents. Are they going down? Are they going up? That affordability piece, how much groceries are at the store. Like, these are the livability of Seattle. Those are the things that I'm always looking at. The violence, the gun violence that we're having, potentially the livability of folks, and then what I'm hearing in the community from small businesses and neighborhoods. Not the political piece, okay? The people that are literally the day-to-day folks that are the voters, the constituents every day.
I want to follow up with, we had the city attorney of Seattle on the show on Friday, and we were talking about her office. Part of her campaign was prioritizing diversion first when it comes to open-air drug use. She also does not support soda and soap zones. Now, that was something that the city council, the previous council, had voted in.
Yeah.
And so I want to know, like, where are you? Because, that is controversial.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I voted for soap and soda, which was intended to be a deterrent based on a lot of the hot spots in our city.
Yes, limiting drug activity and prostitution.
So the 3 areas that we have those most right now, which is 1% of the landmass and accounts for 30% of the activity that are in our streets, it's Aurora, it is downtown on 3rd Pike and Pine, and it's 12th and Jackson. So we added Capitol Hill to that location after I talked to folks, and they were like, hey, this has gotten out of control. We have, situations going on in our neighborhood. So it was, hearing from folks and saying, hey, this might be an area we want to look at. No one wanted to vote on SOAP, which is the area for prostitution, and say, we want to arrest the people that are being sex trafficked. No, we were voting on to deter the gun violence, the bullet holes going through people's windows, the kids that are going to school being accosted by grown adults asking if they can solicit sex to a middle school. The crazy stories, the data, the information, the principles we talked to. These are the facts that we had before us when we were voting on this. And so when people might say, well, you voted on this because you don't like black and brown people, you don't like this. No. I love everyone. And I want to make sure that a kid going to school up north while they're walking through Aurora is not being accosted by soliciting by a grown adult. That's where we're at. The bullet holes through the windows, the women who are begging to get out of that life. And there's two different strategies. There's all different strategies that we want to do. So that was one of the strategies that I supported.
District 3 is your district, right?
Yes.
And that is Central District, Capitol Hill, Madrona, Leschi, all that. And so I have a question for you, but we got to go to break. And so will you stick around for the next segment?
Of course, I'm here.
Okay, all right. So here's a question I'll let you think about, right? So if, let's just say a survey goes out and to the people in your area, right, in your district, and then you're asking the neighbors what they want. What's something that you've already heard back from your constituents that actually surprised you? All right, so we'll get that answer. We'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Gas prices are at record highs, markets are volatile, and if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times, and that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Major financial decisions deserve education, not pressure. Madrona Financial and CPAs host live seminars and online webinars throughout the year to help you make informed, confident choices. Their tax return treasure hunt discusses how to uncover planning opportunities potentially hidden inside your own tax return. Growing her wealth addresses the financial transitions many women face and how to prepare for them thoughtfully and confidently. Beyond the Numbers introduces a framework for building a comprehensive financial plan while helping connect your finances to your goals, priorities, and the life you want to design. And Landlord Exit Strategies takes a clear look at whether holding, selling, or restructuring your rental properties makes sense long term. You can attend in person or join online from home. To see the full schedule, visit madronafinancial.com/events or call 833-673-7373. Madrona Financial and CPAs, where informed planning starts.
Owie, wowie!
Joey!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all?
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at apolloplumbing.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. President Donald Trump is ramping up the pressure against Iran amidst an extended ceasefire. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the latest from the White House.
Amid stalled peace talks and renewed questions about how long a ceasefire will last, the president posted, quote, Iran is having a very hard time figuring out who their leader is. They just don't know, unquote. The president also claimed the U.S. has total control of the Strait of Hormuz, saying it is sealed up tight until such time as Iran is ready to make a deal. Earlier today, Trump posted, I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats though they may be, that are putting mines in the waters of the strait. And he added, there will be no hesitation. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
In the wee hours of the night, the Senate passed a funding resolution with $70 billion for the Department of Homeland Security. Washington Senator Patty Murray was one of many Democrats in opposition.
Republicans aren't trying to rein in Trump's absurd tariffs. They're not trying to address soaring health care costs, and they are certainly not lifting a finger to stop Trump's war and bring down gas prices. Instead, Republicans' top priority right now is shoveling $70 billion at ICE and Border Patrol.
An internal watchdog at the Department of Justice is reviewing how it handled the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Many of Epstein's survivors say personal information about them was released, and others complained there were too many redactions protecting people in power. Microsoft is offering voluntary retirement to some of its longtime employees. It's almost unheard of for a tech company. According to GeekWire, the company laid off about 15,000 employees over the last year, and this move could be a more friendly way to train staff while it's raising money to support AI initiatives. Millions of Americans suddenly have a much easier path to Canadian citizenship, prompting a rush of people to explore their ancestry. Under a new law that took effect in December, anyone who can prove they are directly descended from a Canadian is considered a citizen. You just have to prove it and apply. Check out the story on mynorthwest.com. Now we're going to check traffic, and we're doing great for this time of day. Linwood to Seattle's now just 24 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 29 minutes. All our blocking incidents have since cleared. Renton to Bellevue, still a little bit of a slog through the S-curves. That is a 27-minute drive. And keep in mind, there is some maintenance on 405 southbound with a collision that did clear, so there is a little bit of a backup between I-5 and 167. This report brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered. We are going to have a beautiful day, partly cloudy, going to partly sunny with a high of 62 degrees. It's 51 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and we are continuing our conversation with Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth. And as promised, we want to talk about the business climate in downtown Seattle, particularly. The Downtown Seattle Association CEO, John Scholes, was on our show recently, and he told us the city's overall business climate makes it hard to attract and retain companies. I want you to listen to this.
I mean, it seems like every other day you pick up a news story and there's a new tax or a tax that was recently raised that they want to make higher, or a new regulation. And so there's not great predictability. There hasn't been over the last decade for doing business in downtown Seattle. And the dollars and cents matter too. It is much more expensive to locate a job in downtown Seattle than it is in downtown Bellevue. We have a significant payroll tax that was put in place 4 years ago and increased. We have increases in the B&O tax on large employers in our city. So we become a tax outlier in our region, and people are making other choices.
So first of all, do you agree with that assessment? And then what is the council's plan, or what are some of your specific ideas to make this a more business-friendly climate?
Yeah, I think, well, first, do I agree with that? Some of it, right? I agree with some of John Scholes' assessment of Seattle. I think we can do better for a business climate, for sure. If we just break up and look at the head tax that was passed in 2021, there are 500 companies that pay that tax. And I have notes on it because I was wanting to make sure I was right with my numbers. The top 100 pay 90% of that revenue. The top 10 pay 70% of that revenue. So the top 10 companies for our Jumpstart tax pay 70% of that revenue coming into our city. And so I know a lot of people, can figure out which businesses those are. And so I do believe the city of Seattle needs to do a better job of business climate. And what does that mean? It just means, and you are engaging with them when they're asking questions. You are making sure that we're keeping the city safe. Like the very simple things, safe. You're making it attractive for them to attract different employees, making it safe for their employees to live. Obviously, people talk about those tax dollars. I do believe that companies that are paying into tax dollars wouldn't mind maybe increasing those, whatever have you, but as long as those outcomes made it so they can do business better in Seattle. And I think that's what they're talking about. Hey, we're raising our taxes, but we're not seeing that on the street. We're not seeing that in officers. We're not seeing that in response times. And I think that is the bigger issue here.
Well, the things that I hear are they're saying specifically it is the taxes. It is that specifically for the city of Seattle that makes it more attractive to go to Bellevue. Or, in the case of Starbucks, which I know was much earlier a decision, to move part of it to Nashville. Are there any either tax incentives or tax breaks that you would consider?
I would be open to figuring out, as long as it didn't hurt other streams that we're relying on for human services and housing and other things that are important. But I think I want to go back to, how do you create more revenue for a city? Do you tax more, or do you make business environment healthy, small businesses, big businesses, where people are spending money? They're coming out. They're generating this revenue to where the city, we're building housing, right? These are things where money comes into the city because we have a healthy business climate. You can look at Bellevue downtown. Go to Bellevue downtown and just walk around. And you're like, oh, this is nice. This is clean. This is safe. Like, Seattle, we have a part in that. You can't look at, what is Bellevue doing? Seattle had a little bit of part in what Bellevue looks like right now.
I asked you a question before the break, and I promised that I would come and ask this question right now again. And the question back to you is that you represent District 3. That's with Capitol Hill, Central District, Madrona, Leschi. And right now, if you were to send a survey out to your constituents right now about what they want in your district, what is something that maybe you'd be surprised about that you'd hear from your constituents?
So we did a survey last year and had results back getting from what people wanted, what were some of their top issues. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that didn't surprise me, but it had been what we had been talking about for a long time, were just the basics. People had said, Joy, I just want a clean city. I want a clean park. I want a restroom at the bathroom that works, so when my kid's playing softball, I can use the restroom. I want my bus to run on time, so I'm not paying the extra fee to pick up my kid because my bus is late and they got to stay after school or whatever it is. A lot of people have asked us, can you just do that? And I think it's important for people to understand if we can do that as a city, just those basic things, then the hard, complex problem, what we're dealing with at the King County Regional Homeless Authority, the business tax, these things, then people are like, oh, they can handle that because I've seen their performance on these levels that are the things that people touch every day: parks, water, sewer, garbage, streets, transportation, police, fire, EMT. Those are things that people judge a city how well things are working.
Right now, the World Cup is coming in June. I don't know if you heard. But the World Cup's coming. Obviously, right now, there's a budget deficit. Right, that's ahead. You guys have the new mayor. We all have the new mayor here in Seattle who's kind of finding their footing right now. The people listening right now, if you had to tell the people, especially in Seattle, one thing about this Seattle council, this current one right here, what would it be? Something that you guys are doing that would make the people be like, oh, okay. Where you can get the trust. Because right now, every time you guys talk or anything like that, there's I don't know. There's a yeah, but. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now, coming into June. What is something that you guys are doing that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's a lot. So you talked about World Cup. The one thing that I would say about World Cup, because there's a lot of preparation, transportation, safety, how we're moving the economy from downtown into small businesses around the city of Seattle. The one thing I want people to hold us accountable is as we're prepping for this, let's continue that same energy and keeping the city that way. If we're cleaning up things, if we're making it safe, accessible, let's maintain that same level. That's the one thing that I want people to hold us accountable on Seattle City Council, because that's things that we can make sure our departments are being pushed on, that our community is involved in as well, is saying, hey, are we keeping that same energy for cleanliness and that same energy for public safety, for those things to where people can visually see that we are doing things? Because you have to show people visually what you're doing for the city. And I think that's going to be key to have that same energy.
Going to get one quick question in from Paul in the 253 who says, Seattle wants people living outside of the city to visit, yet parking and getting into the city is such a hassle. It's no longer worth it. I used to come in for concerts and sporting events a couple times a month, and now I only do it, if anything, 2 to 3 times a year. Is that something that would be worrisome to you? Like people in this region don't feel like they can come in to Seattle?
Yeah, is it a transportation?
Parking?
Is it the parking piece?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've made a significant investment in our transit. We have our G line. Y'all are experiencing the J line construction out here. God bless y'all. And then you also have, I look at G. G's not, if you're listening on the radio, he just looked at me with a dead stare.
Yes,
I just want
it's
y'all
right
to know
on East
that.
Lake.
I got him to smile a little bit, but he knows. We also have the 2 line for Sound Transit. There are different ways in which we've invested in coming into the city. Cars are a part of that too as well. And so when I hear people say, Joy, it's hard to drive, it's hard to get in here, I want to make it so it's easier for you to get out of your car and be able to take the bus or transit. That's an option. Or we have to figure out too as well, can we have free parking downtown?
Thank you.
You know, like that. Yeah, you heard me say free.
Some parking holidays.
The listeners, I'm not saying free. I'm not saying UBI. I'm saying free parking.
That's why they go into Bellevue.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Free parking. Thank
I
you.
like how you brought up that UBI. That was good.
Thank
that was
you.
good. That was
Okay.
good. I caught it.
You caught that, but I'm saying free parking. Maybe it's free park. Maybe we're jump starting something where we want people to come in and generate that
So what y'all
revenue for
got
our
to do?
city.
What y'all got to do for the free parking?
What do we have to do? That might be something y'all can judge me on. Maybe we make a pitch in city council. I don't know. I can talk to the transportation chair. We'll see.
Joy Hollingsworth, thank you so much.
Oh, that was fun. Thank you.
Well, when we have so many other questions, so we're gonna have to have you come back again.
I would love to,
because there's many more questions. And then I was going to say just real quick because Kevin in Seattle is a daily texter. He is someone who is so proud to live in Seattle, and he's concerned that the metric, and I don't think that you are only basing your metrics on, hey, what are you hearing from people that you survey?
Oh, yeah, no.
Because he's saying, I'm seeing more tents now. And this is a guy who...
Absolutely. Yeah, and you all are playing my favorite Stevie Wonder song. Okay, how many tents are going up? What are response times from officers? What are housing costs? What are our fire department? How many times they're answering their calls to different places? That's what our metrics are as well. So those are in addition to what I'm hearing.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, every day on our show, we choose joy, right?
I'm glad.
And we told Sophia we choose joy. Just like, oh well, I thought.
Thank you for choosing joy.
Appreciate it.
No.
Hey, coming up next.
Imperative.
Scenarios, Gee and Ursula.
Voted best of Western Washington. Ranked #1 senior living community in America. Aegis Living, Washington's most luxurious assisted living and memory care. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember you used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
I got a quick one. Scenarios. Okay, this one's really a simple one. Really simple. It should be, at least. You witness a coworker stealing office supplies regularly. Do you report them to the manager, confront them directly, or ignore the behavior? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. You witness a coworker stealing office supplies regularly. Do you report them to the manager? Do you confront them directly, or do you ignore the behavior? Ursula, you have to bat first.
I would generally report it to the manager. But if it was so egregious, I would confront directly. And I have a real life experience with this.
Oh, boy.
Uh-huh.
Now, remember, you've been here for 38 years.
Yes. And so I will keep it vague enough, but I will just say when I was the news director.
Yeah.
Okay, I worked crazy hours, right? I used to tell you that. And there was one night that I had to come back to work. And I pull in to the back parking lot, and I see someone ruffling in ruffling through boxes in the back of one of our news cars. And this is a person who shouldn't have access to the news car, but was aware that there is some very expensive equipment in the news car.
Okay.
So I confronted the person and reported it to upper management. That's what I did.
Wow. Did he lose his job?
I will not continue on that just to cover my own you-know-what.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, there were consequences. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Now, usually, I am the number one. You guys know what I always say all the time. I always mind my business, stay in my lane. I would usually ignore a lot of behavior. But this right here, I'm going to confront them directly if I see you stealing and taking office supplies regularly. I'm confronting that. I'm saying something on that one.
And what level do you, because, people will get, for example, they say, hey, I need a little bit of paper, and there's printer paper. So if you see someone walking out with printer paper, or, is there a level that you say, yeah, that's too much? Or is there something like, hey, I'm going to take some pens home?
Okay. Let's go to it. I think that whether you take the paper or you print some stuff off at work. Because sometimes back in the day.
Oh, wait a minute. I've printed stuff at work.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
So there's technically, like,
Afterwards.
for an example, Gen Z, y'all don't know nothing about MapQuest. You feel me?
Oh, I know about MapQuest.
You know about MapQuest?
Oh, I have way too many memories of being in the backseat of my mom's car trying to figure out MapQuest.
Okay, so MapQuest, if you're at work, you're like, hey, family vacation, or I'm
Print
going to
'em
be
out.
at work, I'm going to print them out here at work, right? Or you're going to have a party or something like that, and you maybe use a little bit extra paper. I'm good there. But where it's too far is, like you said, boxes, taking some electronic equipment or things that will hurt the business's bottom line. And if the bottom line is hurt, that means somebody might have to get let go in the future. Oh, I'm telling. I'm snitching.
Well, yeah, because it hurts everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, Sophia, you got about a couple seconds?
I'm glad you guys provide some context because I was like, what is the layer of the office supplies here? Are we talking about me stealing the stapler off G's desk every morning? Or are we talking about me going around and grabbing some props for my desk?
I got a stapler on the desk.
You do, but it was out of Staples, so I had to switch gears.
Well, if it's out of Staples, because I ain't never used it. I didn't even know I had a stapler on my desk.
Well, I mean, another thing is, like, we have a market downstairs, and it is an honor system market. Yes. And so if you're obviously taking things, I mean, are you going to report it? Yes.
I mean, I don't even know how I would know that you stole it. Because if you down there, there's no, I don't know if you pay for it already when I came in there. Yeah. Maybe you have a little thing like, I'm going to pay when I come back. And
unless you're maybe looking at the camera footage downstairs.
I
wouldn't go as far as to go all the way upstairs with the bosses on this matter, but I also can't be ignoring the secret that's being done in the shade. So I think it's a good medium just to go to whoever the culprit is one-on-one and just asking what it is they've been taking from the office and get the scoop on the inside info. If it's paper clips or sticky notes they're taking, it's no big deal to me. But a company car or equipment costing hundreds of thousands, I can't be a bystander at that point, and I'm fessing up no matter who it is to clear my name out of the way. I don't want to be getting in trouble,
Good stuff.
It's funny, though, how people will justify it.
I know.
It's like, oh, it's just a pen. Then it's like, oh, it's just a pack of paper.
Yeah. I need to ask y'all this. I really do. Should everybody be judged for maybe at some point in your life you did take some rolls of toilet paper from somewhere and you did take some salt and pepper shakers?
Listen, y'all remember during COVID?
Is this confession time? Did you ever take cutlery?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Look here, y'all. I mean, it's been years. It's been, let's see. It's probably been about, 14, 15 years, but I just want to tell you, I've taken some toilet paper and some salt and pepper shakers.
I know people in 2020 when everything was starting that were like admitting, they were like, oh no, before I clock out, I'm taking a stack of toilet paper and leaving.
Okay, yeah.
That used to be a big thing. My dad, who worked at Boeing, he said during the recession, people used to do that a lot. Take that TP.
It's a tough one.
Sorry, I'm not perfect, y'all.
Well, I'm going to say, I bet most people can say there's a time or two, but we don't encourage it.
I don't encourage it. Get them salt and peppers out of your house. Coming up next, we're going to be deep diving back into what's happening with the King County Homelessness Agency. That whole thing next. Gee and Ursula.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Are you thinking about going hybrid, or maybe you're ready to make the jump to going fully electric? Well, start at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. If you've been curious about electric, but you're waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Because right now, the all-electric 2026 Solterra comes with 0% APR for 72 months. 0%. And if you're leaning hybrid, Carter Subaru has you covered there as well with Crosstrek and Forester hybrid options, plus one of the largest selections in the entire state. We're talking 700 vehicles in stock right now. So you're not stuck choosing from scraps. You will get the best. And I keep going back to Carter Subaru because they know how to treat people right. They don't deal with any games. You're just going to get straight answers and a dealership that actually feels like part of the community and invests in the community. So if electric or hybrid is even on your radar, now is the time. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/26.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. For original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In southern Georgia, wildfires are growing, destroying more than 50 homes. In Atkinson, Brittany Quinn had no time to grab anything before she evacuated.
My house is gone.
CBS's Skylar Henry is in Waynesville, Georgia.
Officials say that they are still struggling to contain this fire. Only about 15% of it is contained. They say that they are also concerned about the structures in and around this area as well. More than 4 dozen structures, all leveled, all residences, and about 1,000 of them are still at risk.
Also, more than 15 million people across the central U.S. are under fire weather alerts through tomorrow. U.S. forces have seized another tanker linked with smuggling Iranian oil in the Indian Ocean. It comes one day after Iran seized 2 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
The president said earlier this morning that minesweepers, U.S. minesweepers, are clearing the strait up now, and he is ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled up level. Again, unclear what that actually means in practice, because the U.S. military is already working hard to clear the strait.
The Justice Department's internal watchdog is reviewing how it handled the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The Inspector General's review will focus on how the department collected, reviewed, and redacted the materials and what its process was for addressing privacy concerns. Many of Epstein's survivors say personal information about them was disclosed when the files were made public. This marks the first significant effort by the watchdog since President Trump's second term to scrutinize the department.
President President Trump plans to nominate a government service contractor to head the TSA, according to CBS's Nicole Skanga.
David Cummins has served as Senior Vice President of Citizen Services at Serco, which is a government services contractor. He formerly headed up operations for the Salt Lake City Olympics.
Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders have voted to approve the merger with Paramount Skydance, the parent company of CBS News. CBS's Jolene Kent says for Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav, it means
he is going to walk away with $34.2 million in cash severance when this deal closes, $517.2 million in equity in Warner Brothers Discovery that will cash out when the transaction closes and WBD is delisted, as well as $44,000 in continued health coverage and reimbursement benefits. We're talking about a total of about $550 million.
Stocks are down on Wall Street. Oil is up just over 5%. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Millions of dollars earmarked for homeless funding are unaccounted for. We're going to get the latest in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic, and we're looking pretty good. We're an average commute for this time of day, which means it's almost a speed limit commute. The only outlier is 405 southbound in Tukwila, where you do have some maintenance that's causing a delay, but it looks like the volume has gone way down, so we're not expecting too long of a delay there. The slowing through the S-curves in the northbound direction, pretty much gone. It looks like just about a speed limit commute from Renton to Bellevue, same with the lake bridges. And the slowing getting into Seattle starts from about the West Seattle Bridge, but really it's not much. In the southbound direction, that it's pretty tight from about 45th getting into Seattle, but that's just because of that construction slowing. And then once you get to downtown, it's smooth sailing. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Millions of dollars earmarked for homeless funding have vanished. An audit found the King County Regional Homelessness Authority misplaced $13 million, and now they're $45 million in the hole. There's a public outcry, and some elected leaders want to dissolve the agency. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey was just at a press conference with members of the Seattle City Council and the King County Council, and he's going to have the latest next on the Gee and Ursula Show. Bellevue-based T-Mobile could become part of the biggest phone company in the world. According to the Seattle Times, T-Mobile is in talks with its German majority owner, Deutsche Telekom, to combine under one holding company. Deutsche Telekom already owns 53% of T-Mobile. If the deal goes through, Reuters says it would be the largest public merger ever. Neither company would comment. If you drive Denny Way in Seattle, you are about to lose a lane. Mayor Katie Wilson announced yesterday the city will hand 13 blocks of eastbound Denny to the Route 8 bus this summer.
This is also personal for me as a transit rider. I am one of the 20% and growing proportion of Seattle households that do not own a car. I've never owned a car.
That means roughly 30,000 vehicles today will squeeze into one general lane instead of two. And you won't be able to take eastbound SR 18 over Tiger Mountain for the next few days. WashDOT is doing the final paving and striping work on the highway. All eastbound lanes will be blocked from the Issaquah-Hobart Road to I-90 from 9 p.m. tonight until early Monday morning. Truck drivers are encouraged to take 405 and 90 during the closure. The detour cannot handle larger vehicles. Let's get your weather. Beautiful day, 62, morning clouds turning to partially cloudy with some sun in the afternoon. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 63. And it just gets better. Saturday, 65, mostly sunny. It's 51 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 11:30, we are going to agree to disagree. Do you like keeping secrets? And the reason I ask is because is it fun to have a secret, or does it cause you a lot of stress and mental strain?
I'm where I am today in life because I have probably kept some of the some big secrets in my life.
Yeah, me too. Coming up at 11:30, we will discuss that coming up on Agree to Disagree. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
So it has been our top story all morning long. We're talking about up to $13 million in taxpayer money, and the people in charge of tackling the homelessness crisis in this region cannot clearly account for all that cash. And that is the reality coming out of a new audit on the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Luke Ducey has been looking into this story. You just came back from a press conference. So what's being said?
Yeah, just got back from a press conference at City Hall where County Councilman Rod Dombowski paired up with City Councilwoman Maritza Rivera to say a few things. They announced that they are now both going to be introducing legislation in the county and the city to officially start the process to dissolve this agency. They say it's time to get rid of it. We want it gone. We need to rethink this. And whether it's a regional approach that we're going to tackle homelessness on, or, do we do it individually as a county and a city? But in their opinion, this is, met the threshold. We're done. We've got to push restart. We got to start over. What was interesting coming out of the press conference, though, a lot of questions asked, I should say. My mind is like racing right now. And one of the things that came up was this. I noticed in the statements and press releases early this morning covering this story that one of the statements was that it's important to note that there was no evidence of fraud or misuse of any funds. Well, there's no evidence of fraud. Doesn't mean there wasn't any fraud. And Rod Dombowski, he talked to that. And this is what he said really just about a half an hour ago.
The state of the record keeping is apparently so bad that while they didn't find fraud, they couldn't assure us that there wasn't any fraud.
So there's that. And he also kind of alluded to that they may never ever find if there was any fraud because the record keeping is so messed up. And I have some examples of that. For the last 5 years, we're talking about an independent agency that's focused on ending homelessness in King County, where money was being misplaced, it was being mismanaged. There was an accounting example that I dove into the documents in the audit this morning, where the agency would do things like this. They labeled 49 whole accounts by the name other. They labeled 5 accounts miscellaneous. 30 accounts had no description at all. So
we're talking about large amounts of money.
What are those accounts? And who paid whom? And what's going on in there? They also made significant changes to transactions after they initially recorded, including edits made months later and multiple revisions to the same transaction. There are cash allowances that were paid out in advance. They don't know where those went because they have no record keeping of that. I mean, those are just 3 of many, many examples of what we're talking about here.
Well, in any of those follow-up questions, and we all know and we've heard the report of whatever you want to call it, not fraud, can't prove it's fraud. Example, most of us at our jobs, right? If mismanagement of money were to happen, let's just say it happened here.
Narrow it down to just one person. They're calling it a systemic failure. So they're broadening their scope, saying, this agency did some good while it's been in existence, but they mismanaged so much, and they started mismanaging here to cover up, to deal with, not cover up, but deal with the mismanagement here, and so on and so on and so on at all areas, that it just got to a point where it just became, their meetings that they would have board meetings, and those board meetings would, instead of focusing on what can we do about homelessness, they were focusing on our internal issues with record keeping and other things. I did ask them, or one reporter asked, so what do you say to taxpayers? And they gave a response, but to kind of go along with what I just said, both council members, kind of went back on their record, and they said, here's what I've done, here's what we've done, here's what we're going to do, instead of really kind of answering that question. So I actually asked the next question in that press conference. I said, well, wait a minute. let's drill down a little bit, because I think what a lot of people might want to hear, instead of you just pointing to your record, is, and I'm sorry. Like, who's saying I'm sorry? And this was Maritza Rivera's response to my question.
The response is, this is not acceptable. This is egregious, and we need to do something about it. And that's why we're calling for the dissolution of this KCRHA. We agree with the taxpayers. This is not okay.
But still, no, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't even care about I'm sorry. I want to know who's going to be held accountable. So, yeah, you dismantle the agency that it's, apparently there are going to be contracts that need to be removed, et cetera, but who's going to be held accountable? I know it was the new CEO. I mean, because they've been having revolving CEOs, too, with this. And in the first hour, Gee, you mentioned Dow Constantine, who's now heading Sound Transit. But, a lot of this happened when he was King County executive, which for people to understand the Regional Homelessness Authority, this is something that cities all around the region are spending money and putting money into because it is a regional problem that needs a regional approach, is what we were told. But Seattle paying the bulk of it. So all this money was going in, and they're saying now, well, yeah, we had no systems in place, and it was kind of like a startup. We had all these dollars, flowing in. That's just not acceptable. Like, what about recovery of this money? If there was fraud.
Recovery, I think, I just on the face of what we're learning now and what the audit says, I don't think they're done investigating. However, I think it'd be fair to say that I don't think they're going to recover any money. I don't think they know where it is. It's, or it went. I think it's so messed up that they're not going to find that. There was a question. Someone did ask about criminality. Could there be potentially criminal charges? That kind of answers your question another way.
Yeah.
And the answer was, again, back to the fraud, and they didn't find any evidence of, therefore.
Yeah.
Are they going to dig more into that? Good question.
Well, I think we need to keep demanding that
someone be held accountable
and somebody held accountable. And I don't think that there's really any other answer other than this King County Regional Homelessness Authority needs to be over yesterday.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like, because I got a little bit of a sense at the press conference that, look, I think in one aspect, they're moving forward. They're moving down the tracks toward, okay, what are the next steps here? We want to dissolve this, at least these two council members, and we want to go in that direction. But were they shrugging or shirking responsibility a little bit by saying, hey, we're being proactive and look at the great things we're doing here to dissolve this.
Yeah.
We're not really that responsible.
No.
But they are the leaders in government right now.
Correct. Yeah,
I got that sense.
how do you reconcile with voters who say, wait a minute, you're going to ask us now for more money, whether it's library levy, or you're going to ask us to increase our property taxes for this, and what are you doing with our money? And because I want to make very clear that what we're talking about today is separate from what we were talking about just last week with the council member, Rod Dembowski, right? Gee, when he came in and the King County executive, that was a different count. That was a county department within the county where, again, millions and millions of dollars cannot be accounted for. And there, according to the council member, may have been outright fraud. Yeah. So, how are we supposed to have any faith in what is happening? And then they just say, well, we're going to do better next time, but it is a system failure.
I said it this morning, and I'll say it again right now. I imagine if there are any accountants listening, they're probably having panic attacks right now, hearing the apparent and, according to the audit, the ineptness that has happened.
Yeah, total ineptitude, for sure.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, is ineptness a word?
Yeah.
Ineptitude. I like that one better.
Yes.
I'll use that one from now on.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Before we move on with this topic, I want the King County Council, the executive, and I want them to know this, and I hope that we can interview them here soon. It is not enough to say, hey, let's dissolve that the King County Housing Regional Authority. Let's dissolve it and let's kind of move forward. I just wanted to say something, and this is really simple. I use the term all the time when you pee on somebody's leg and you tell them that it's rain. And here's why it's not enough. Imagine if someone does something to your personal bank account and money and funds are missing from your bank account. It's the family's bank account. There's only a certain amount of people that had access to the bank account. Just saying, you know what? Things happened. We're going to get rid of the bank account. Let's move forward. If that wouldn't be enough in your household, in your family, no. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the bank account. But before we do, we're going to get to the bottom of what happened.
Thank you.
Because the thing is that, and by the way,
you need recovery.
I haven't been doing this whole job long enough to understand politics, so maybe I'm just not good at this. But here's what I am good at. I'm good at looking at a duck, and if it quacks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it's a damn duck. So this is one of those things that I just wanted to say that it is not enough to dissolve the organization.
Yeah.
You can do that all you want. You still have to answer to the taxpayers. And just so we're clear, it's not enough to say, oh, well, everybody, it was so bad that we don't even know where anything is. No. Because the thing is that lets me know that I believe deep down in my heart, you guys know more than you're letting us know. It's not like the Seattle Times did all these the investigation, all these investigations. They're like, oh, and the audit happened. You knew before the audit.
These questions should have been coming up when you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars going out the door. Yeah. What are your results? Okay, where's this money going?
Right.
Who is it? Other is not a good category.
Right.
Specifically, to whom?
Mm-hmm.
What's the money for? What are the results? And yeah, I mean, it's real easy.
It's real easy.
It shouldn't just only come up in an audit. It needs to be. That's how we all have to run a business.
There's only so many people that have access to the money.
Yes.
Now, you have a room full of people, and they say, okay, which group of folks in this room did not have access to accounts payable and all the money and all that stuff? Okay, can you please leave the room? Everybody else that had access, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because the only way that, and some of you guys are going to run for office, the only way that you're going to get confidence from your constituents is getting to the bottom of this.
Yep.
Now, I know in politics, maybe it's like, hey, let's just give them this and say, hey, we're going to get rid of that, and that'll make them happy. It might make some happy, but there are some people that are still staring at you with their good eyes saying,
yeah, no, where's the money? And especially when we're talking about, again, 206, first text from this person who says, thank you for the topic of fraud at King County. I have voted yes for almost every ballot issue over the years. I am a hard no from now on. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And by the way, that person that says I'm a hard no on things, or the next time you go to vote for something, and there might be something that is serious, that is really needed within King County, in the community. But you want to know why they're saying no? They're saying no because there's still been no accountability. Mm-hmm. So what happens is we say that we care about the people. We say that we care about our constituents. But there's going to be a group of people now in King County that are no matter what are going to be a no. And there are no because the integrity of this whole situation will have a taste in their mouth. And so this ain't funny. This ain't just 2026. This could potentially last for a generation.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and the most vulnerable people who actually need help and who are supposed to be helped by all these dollars that went out the door are no better off.
So I'll repeat, it is not enough to dissolve that organization. There needs to be more.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, speaking of accountability or lack thereof, I need to bring up King County Assessor John Wilson again because I'm sorry.
Did you save that?
Yeah, sorry.
I thought we were about to go to break. God,
No. Yeah, because there are even more calls for him to resign, but not just from the county council, which we told you about yesterday, but from people who work directly under him. His own chief deputy, imagine how awkward this is. His second in command says John Wilson's legal troubles are now hurting morale and distracting from the job. And this chief deputy says it is time for him to step down. He says the staff is embarrassed. They don't want to be around him. And again, this comes after the King County Council voted again unanimously to call for his resignation, saying that he has lost the public's trust. The thing is, no one can force him to resign. It has to come from him. And his attorney is claiming he's still doing the job, but his deputy says no. The deputy is the one that's actually running the office right now because of all of this. I mean, dude.
Hey,
sorry, but
I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, y'all. You know, we got other counties in the state. You know, we got Pierce County. We got Snohomish County. We got some other counties. King County, good Lord.
There's a lot going on.
King County, what is going on?
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring it up. When your own people are saying, you make us feel very uncomfortable and you are hurting morale, is that an environment that you still think you can be effective as a leader? It is time to resign. Period.
You know what we need to do, Ursula, on the G and Ursula Show? You know, we've been doing Flex Fridays on talking about working out. We need to bring in some executive coaches, some leadership coaches.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I'm being for real.
No,
because right now, because here's what I've learned.
Crisis.
Here's what I've learned. Just because you get voted into office doesn't mean that you have leadership capabilities.
Yeah.
It probably means that you had a lot of donors. You had some money.
Yeah.
Maybe you come from a family with money. But the term leadership is just not there. And we have been talking about that a lot.
Leadership and accountability.
Man.
Hey, I know we brought up Councilmember
rough.
Rod Dembowski, and we have put in a call because he was great about coming on the show, and I bet he'd be willing to come on again tomorrow.
Rod, come on to the show, bro. It's Friday tomorrow. They say the sun's going to be out. Rod Dembowski, you need to just come on to the show.
Yeah, we also have King County Elections Director, I believe, Julie Wise, coming on.
Yes,
is she coming on?
Because remember that whole... we're getting the guests. I want to just do shout out to Sophia, our producer. No. She's getting a lot of guests for us. We ask and she delivers. So thank you.
Of course, guys.
I'll say something after this next segment when she's in charge of Agree to Disagree.
Oh, no.
We'll do that next, Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid. And that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go. Now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit wallottery.com. Who benefits to learn more. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you.
Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com. Jazz Alley invites you to see the most celebrated guitarist in jazz history, Pat Metheny and Side-Eye 3 Plus take the stage April 23rd through 26th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, jazz vocalist and pianist Karen Allison.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. Tensions continue to rise in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces have seized another tanker they believe was smuggling Iranian oil. It comes one day after Iran seized 2 commercial vessels in the strait. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes has the latest from the White House.
The president said earlier this morning that minesweepers, U.S. minesweepers, are clearing the strait up now, and he is ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled up level. Again, unclear what that actually means in practice, because the U.S. military is already working hard to clear the strait.
A ceasefire is in place. It's not clear how long it will last or when peace talks could resume. Working past 3 a.m., the Senate passed a new $70 billion funding package for the Department of Homeland Security. Most Democrats objected. The proposal goes to the House. We are still under a partial government shutdown. Federal charges and sanctions to try to bust up complex scam rings in Southeast Asia targeting Americans. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, says in one case, people who were looking for a legitimate job instead were forced into a life of crime.
They end up posing as banks, as police officers, as prosecutors. They sound like Americans, directing Americans to fork over their money or be prosecuted.
A federal scam center strike force is working to claw back or freeze assets involved in money laundering from those scams. Police in Pasco, Washington need help unraveling a bizarre mystery. A criminal investigation uncovered 2 men who have been living under stolen identities for more than 30 years. Tim Seidenfeld and Glenn Skotson are the names of 2 young boys who died in Idaho in the 1970s. Detectives believe 2 men with ties to Seattle, Salem, Oregon, and other areas on the West Coast and Southwest assumed those young boys' identities going back to the early 1990s. We have their photos and more information on mynorthwest.com. Now we're going to check your traffic, and we are pretty problem-free right now. It's a speed limit drive from Renton to Bellevue, even through the S-curves, which has been a problem all morning. Tiny bit of slowing on I-5 northbound, starting from the West Seattle Bridge, kind of getting into downtown. And then you've got that slowing from about the University District past 520, but then you're zipping all the way down to Tacoma at a speed limit drive after downtown Seattle. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio's app. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. Very nice day today. High of 62. We're going to shed some of those clouds. And tomorrow it's even mostly sunny with a high of 63, 65 by Saturday. It's 51 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is 11:34, and that means it is time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
Okay, so how do we feel about secrets? Let's face it, it's no surprise we might kind of like gossip. My favorite expression that I learned early on in this industry is working in media, we all selectively made the choice to be in the business of other people's business. But what about when someone tells you business you can't share over the air? Currently, there are some studies under review on the power that secrets hold over your psyche. Valentina Bianchi, who is a clinical psychologist at the University of Melbourne, said that being the holder of too much private info could take a psychological toll. One of her studies even found that the average person was holding on to 13 different types of secrets. 5 are the kind that you never divulge. And her research suggests that people will prioritize secrets, even if it's messing with your mind. So my question for you is, do you prefer to be left out of the loop to protect your peace? Or are you holding it all in, no matter what it's not so secretly doing to your brain?
Both.
Yes. Yes.
Both. What I mean by that is look, if you have something that, you know, that is a secret, you got something going on real quick, as long as you're not being hurt physically or emotionally, you know, that kind of deal. But if you got something going on and you just feel like you got to tell somebody, don't tell me. just don't tell me. Like, matter of fact, go tell somebody else. Don't tell me. That's number one. But number two, if I am told something and I got to hold it, I'm going to hold it. Period. Ursula?
So 2 things. One is, in certain cases, I am okay. And actually, I am honored that someone would feel comfortable enough to give me some of their deepest, darkest secrets. And if I know that is a deep, dark secret and one that they just have such a burden carrying and need to, I'm okay with that. and not only okay with that, but like I said, I feel honored in a way. Now, but there are some, and I will say that I, in my family, was my parents' go-to when it came to a lot of information that probably was not age appropriate, a lot of information where suddenly I was like, how did I become the chosen counselor here? And there were some things that were so deep and so dark and so secret that as a young person growing up, I was like, I don't have anyone to talk to, and I'm taking this on myself. And at one point, I finally told my sister, Honey, who you just love, I was like, honey, I can't keep this. I cannot have this as being me being the only one. And I told my parents, I was like, this is not fair to me as the only one that has to hold us in. So I shared so she would understand like where I'm coming from in the decisions I make or the choices or the things that I say or the things that I feel. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it can be too much and it can be detrimental. But I guess bottom line is I would rather someone feel comfortable enough with me to say, hey, I need to unload this.
Well, before we move on from this topic, let me give you, some of you, maybe Gen Z, you youngsters, maybe some of us older folks know this, but I want to give a PSA because there's something that enters that happens and nobody wants to talk about. Matter of fact, on the G and Ursula Show, what I'm going to talk about right now, in the 6 years we've been doing this show, we've never brought this up. And so it needs to be brought up because people forget this. When you are telling that secret to that friend of yours, your girlfriend or your best guy buddy, you guys golf all the time, we've been knowing, you say, that's my day one. Been knowing him for years. That's my dog. There's one equalizer, a bit of kryptonite that comes in that nobody talks about. It's a term. It actually started with Doris Day. Back in the day, that's where it called the party line that they were having when they were talking. It was called pillow talk in 1959. Well, today there's this thing called pillow talk. And what is pillow talk? These are vulnerable conversations between someone and their significant other. Sometimes it's not even a significant other, but it just involves the pillow. Here's what I'm telling you. If you tell your secret to someone that's married, listen, there's probably a 90% chance that that person that you told that to is going to be like, hey, spouse, listen, you can't tell anybody this. I got this. Now, here's the next thing I'm going to say right here, and you guys are going to call me crazy, and you're not going to like this sweeping statement that I have. 90+% of discussions between significant others is usually some gossip. And usually a lot of relationships hang on together because listen to what I got. Listen what I heard. Now, you guys are going to text in and say, Gee, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You heard me say it. The pillow talk gets a lot of y'all in trouble. So you think you're telling your girlfriend something, but your husband knows. Now, the husband, you don't even know if he gonna get in the text group with his buddies and be like, yo, check this out. And then it's on black and white. It's a screenshot. And then now it's all over. Make sure you account for the pillow talk. Anything that I ever tell, I'm assuming that it's going to be told. So if I tell something, I'm good with it getting out.
Okay, can I tell you, though? There have been things that you have told me that Mark has never heard in his life. I guarantee you that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I can guarantee you. But I think you're absolutely right. You need to know that if you truly cannot have it go anywhere, it needs to stay within.
It needs to stay within.
Yes.
And I know, and by the way, that spouse, when they're there, you wait till, when you get home from work, wait till I tell you this.
Well, and that's the thing about the psychological strain, right? If you're telling someone a secret that, you feel stressed about it, so you're telling them, they're going to want to tell someone. And the first one they're going to tell is their partner. Never, for me, especially when I'm talking to someone, if I know they're in a relationship, I'm like, oh, okay. I just know your boyfriend's going to know everything about this, but that's okay. You got to mentally be prepped for it.
Kevin in Seattle's wondering about that 90%.
I left room for some exceptions.
Outliers.
But I haven't seen many people text in disagreeing. Oh, we got some coming up. All right. Text message feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
In hot water.
same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
Today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement
Yeah?
includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jazz Alley invites you to see the most celebrated guitarist in jazz history. Pat Metheny and Side-Eye 3 Plus take the stage April 23rd through 26th. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, jazz vocalist and pianist Karen Allison.
Gas prices are at record highs. Markets are volatile. And if you're retired or close to it, I know what you're thinking. Is my plan strong enough for what's coming? Most financial plans aren't built for times like these. They're built for the good times. And that's a problem. That's why one of the Northwest's best-known retirement attorneys, Rajiv Nagayach with LifePoint Law, is personally leading seminars where you'll learn why the planning you've already done may not be enough and what a real retirement plan looks like when your healthcare, housing, legal protection, and finances all work together. No sales pitch, no obligation, just 90 minutes that could change the way you think about your future and give you the peace of mind that you won't run out of money or become a burden on your family.
Attend a free LifePoint Law retirement seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so register now at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Gee and Ursula Show. Can y'all believe tomorrow's Friday? Yes! Okay, Ursula, what's up with them text messages?
Okay, so our top story each hour was the King County Regional Homeless Authority and the audit that showed there's millions of dollars that are unaccounted for. Brian in Lakewood says, whether you like it or not, it's all in who you elect. It's the same old, same old.
And 425 says, absolutely no one should be surprised by missing money and or misappropriation of funds. A money grab to get more money to our corrupt system. No wonder so many are leaving Washington.
Tyson from the 808 says, $13 million doesn't sound like mismanagement. It sounds straight up criminal.
Catherine in Polsvo said, one day it's a millionaire tax exposed. Now this, deceivers, lies, and criminals, they're protecting someone.
And Lori in the 206 says, keep pushing on this in King County. Good work, G and Ursula Show. Appreciate your journalism. And to that end, we are also going to try to get King County Council member Rod Dembowski. He was on with us fairly recently, but now with this new information on top of the other audit that showed some very, very troubling things, we want to get him back on the show. So that would be great. Sonia and Roy says, if I went through an audit and my company found fraud because I worked with Medicare, I would have been fired on the spot. No more taxes should be expected from the public until every department goes through an audit and shows where every penny received has been accounted for first. Sonia and Roy, I agree with you.
And Roger UP says something similar. If I misplace $100, I'm getting uncomfortable questions from my boss. Millions, I'm toast. When do we start demanding answers?
And then on expanding Denny Way and the whole, what's the name of the bus that's always late?
Late 8.
The late 8. The late.
Cameron in the 206 says, preach, Ursula. You hit the nail on the head with the war on cars. What about the delivery drivers? Okay, there you go. Food doesn't get to the stores without trucks. So funny, traffic's going to be worse, so ride the bus. Just have to leave your house 2 hours earlier, then potentially get secondhand fentanyl smoke on your way. Or deal with someone dealing with mental health issues. No thanks.
Yeah, and 360 said the mayor's proposed change anyway is estimated to save 2 to 3 minutes for Route 8. That is a lot of money and a lot more chaos in Seattle traffic for very little return.
Okay, on keeping secrets, Dave in Snohomish says, the worst is when somebody tells you something and then after they shared, they say, but whatever you do, don't tell anybody.
You lost.
That's not how it works.
It's done.
Dave says, you have to make that disclosure first, and then I'll tell you if you can share or not.
If you have to make that, okay, go ahead, Ursula. Go ahead.
No,
don't want to hear
No.
The disclaimer.
If you got to make the disclaimer, you cooked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
have you ever looked at someone and said, "Actually, I don't want to know," like, and caught people from telling you the secret?
Yes.
No. Yes. I always want to know. C in the 714 says, I'm trying to run from other people's secrets, but people confide in me because people trust me. Maybe I should have been a priest.
I think we all have those moments. Robin Puyallup said, "Oh, geez, so true. My wife gets upset when she knows I'm holding on to something confident and won't tell her."
Now, there was a text in there. Somebody threw their own husband under the bus.
Yeah, there was. That was so funny. Terry in Tacoma. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah. Terry
Okay.
in Tacoma, I never tell my husband any secrets. He has a loose lip syndrome.
And then attorney Ross says, "Gee, you are spot on. Pillow talk trumps confidentiality for way too many couples. Attorneys, ministers, spies have to be especially careful." Oh, actually, that's true.
Yes.
Like, there are a lot of I mean, my husband is really good. Like, when he worked in the I'll say this. When he worked in the criminal division, I would tell him, like, "Mark, there are certain things like, why is that story coming out on the news before you've told me?" He says, "My lips are sealed." That's
Smart. Smart.
Not to mention you work in the news.
Right. All right. Exactly. Oh, man. Good one right there.
Yes.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got?
Well, we were talking about transparency, and I like this quote. "I believe in the power of relationships. Relationships are built with a blend of trust, empathy, communication, and transparency." I think that's a good list.
That's a good list right there. Good stuff.
I like that.
Let's check in with my main man, Nick.
Well, where did all the tax bucks go we paid for greater good that we thought were being utilized are now misunderstood? And perhaps we might not get the answer for those missing funds, but at least we got an extra lane for that old late 8 bus. But even if the bus becomes a quicker route we've got, I might still prefer the stroll out in the rain to reach my spot. Don't tell the mayor that, though. We'll just keep that as pillow talk here on the show. How about that?
Hey.
And Nick, seriously, how you put that all together? I mean, so fresh.
Well, what's coming up tomorrow?
I love it.
Fresh Friday.
Fresh Fridays. Hey, you know what? I've been doing a lot of walking this week.
Oh, really?
We did a family walk, too. I even took pictures.
All right. Sophia, did you take some pictures this week?
Take some pictures.
Yeah, you're part of our Flex
for
Friday.
Flex Friday? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I can take some. I'm going to the gym right after this.
Oh, okay. Well
Yeah, as G knows, I'm not a morning person. I'm much more of a mid-afternoon gym gal.
I get it.
Gee, did you end up getting that membership at Equinox? Or
he sure did.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get a picture of that. You at Equinox?
Well, that's the thing. You can't use cameras.
A little too fancy for that.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, I'm there every morning. I'm about to go back there again right now. All right, Ursula, gotta go.
Yep.
Happy draft day. That's right. Happy draft day. The Seattle Seahawks have the 32nd pick in the first round. That's what happens when you win a Super Bowl. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully the sun is going to be out. Hopefully when we start the show tomorrow, we're talking about the sun. Thanks, Ursula. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sophia. Nick, thank you, man.
You too, man.
Jake and Spike Show. They're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Yeah.
Visit wildlottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi?
And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to